Ladies and gentlemen, I have always opined on this platform that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. And that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objectives. Nothing just happens out of mere coincidence in politics. Over the weekend, Musalia Mudavadi, the former ANC party leader, because he's no longer the party leader or the chief prime secretary, and Moses Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, were forced to campaign for the Ford Kenya candidate in Bungoma. And Musalia Mudavadi took on William Samoei Arap Ruto for betraying them in Bungoma.
Sisi kama vyama tanzi, yani ANC, Ford Kenya na UDA, tuliamua kwa heshima sisi hatutapeana candidate yeyote kule Garissa. Hatutapeana candidate yeyote kule Marakwet. Hatutapeana candidate yeyote kule Murang'a. Na hapa tulikuwa tunajua kwamba hakuna mtu atapeana candidate kwa sababu Weta kwa niaba yetu alikuwa Ford Kenya, turudishe kwa hiyo nyumba ya Ford Kenya. Sasa kuna wengine ambao walikeuka hayo masikizano, wameenda mbele. Sisi tunasema mtoto akililia wembe mpatie. Ukifika tarehe 8, mimi nasimama hapa kuwaomba na kuwasihi kwa heshima ya chama cha Ford Kenya, kwa heshima ya spika wetu na kwa heshima wa muungano wa Kenya Kwanza, sisi turudishe mkono, tupeane nafasi kwa Wakoli.
And because in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, I want us to look at why Musalia Mudavadi was actually forced to come out very strongly and attack William Samoei Arap Ruto and his party, UDA party. Before we do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, press that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Let us get back to business. And I want to make this request for this particular video. Please just press that thumbs up. Why do you think William Ruto is forcing Moses Wetangula and Musalia Mudavadi to go to Bungoma and campaign for Ford Kenya candidate? Because all these three individuals belongs to a coalition which is called Kenya Kwanza. And William Ruto is the leader of Kenya Kwanza. And as a matter of fact, Bungoma County is Ford Kenya's stronghold. And if anything, the vacancy in Bungoma was occasioned by the fact that Moses Wetangula resigned as the senator and contested to become the Speaker of the National Assembly, and he succeeded. And therefore, if anything, logically, William Ruto ought to have led the campaign for the Ford Kenya candidate. Why do you think William Ruto is forcing Wetangula and Mudavadi to campaign in Bungoma?
Tuko na furaha kubwa sana kuwa hapa siku ya leo. Mara mingi watu wanaenda by election kama mbunge amekufa ama mbunge ametolewa na koti, lakini wakati huu tunaenda by election kwa sababu seneta wenu amepanda ngazi. Nimekuja hapa na ndugu yangu Musalia Mudavadi Mudavadi, ambaye tulitembea na yeye wakati wa campaign tukija hapa Bungoma. Tulisimama hapa T Junction tukiwaomba kura. Tulikuwa hapa na rais wetu wa sasa William Ruto. Tulikuwa na viongozi wengine. Tukawaambia sisi tumeingia katika mseto ambao hauna udanganyifu, mseto ambao hauna ulaghai, mseto ambao hauna political conmanship, na mkakuja mkatusikiza mkapiga kura zenu.
For me, probably William Ruto has his ideas, but I'm only reading two main objectives why William Ruto is keen on Bungoma Senatorial seat. Because let's face it, if you look at the UDA campaigns in Bungoma, really you can't miss to see the hands of William Ruto in it.
If the 5 members of Fort Kenya had voted for Wetangula, he would have gotten 5 votes. If the 6 members of ANC would have voted for Wetangula, Wetangula would have gotten 11 votes. To become speaker, you need 2/3 of members of parliament present and voting. So he is speaker courtesy of UDA. Number 2, we are thankful to the president that thanks to the votes that you people voted in Bungoma, today Susan Nakhumija Wafula is minister. Today, Mheshimiwa Mudavadi is the chief minister. Today, Ababu Namwamba is minister. Those are 3 cabinet secretaries from our community. Finally, but not least, thanks to your vote, the people of Bungoma, we have 6 permanent secretaries, principal secretaries from our community. We have Professor Edward Kisiangani from Bungoma. We have Beatrice Inyangala from Kakamega. We have James Muhati from Kakamega. We have Susan Mangeni from Kakamega, from Busia. And Dr. Juma Mukhwana from here in Bungoma. So we are delivering. Anybody bringing in stories of runaway from UDA, he wants us to send a conflicting statement to the president. And I'm here as the chief whip of government. Today's Senate is sitting, but I've been allowed to come at the cost of government to come and tell the people of Bungoma that now that we are government, let us not behave like people who want to come out of parliament. If you don't want to come out of parliament, if you don't want to come out of government, the people of Bungoma, don't behave like people who want to come out of government. If you want to stay in government, you vote with government. Government is voting here in Bungoma, here, in this by-election. Government is voting for Honorable Mwambu Mabonga.
And if William Ruto wanted Ford Kenya to retain this seat easily, he would not have sponsored a candidate. So for me, he has 2 main objectives of sponsoring a candidate there. Number 1, he wants to tame Wetangula. And I think I did a video previously on this. The moment William Ruto's party is going to win in Bungoma, because there's that possibility, I can tell you, the UDA members of parliament from Western Kenya will no longer respect Moses Wetangula. They will no longer respect Moses Wetangula. For Mudavadi, he failed to deliver. So they don't have respect already for him. They only have, as at now, respect for Papa Waroma. So William Ruto is trying so hard to tame Papa Waroma. Number 2, he wants to make UDA the dominant party in the larger Luhya nation. I'm yet to take my calculator and count which political party has majority members of parliament in Western Kenya, between Ford Kenya, ANC, and UDA. Maybe if you have a rough idea, but something tells me that UDA might even have more members of parliament than those parties. And that's why the gentleman was reminding Weta, Boni Alwale, that if you combine the number of members of parliament from Ford Kenya and those of ANC, there are only 11. And therefore, Weta should be happy that already UDA party made him the Speaker of the National Assembly. But let us not get into all those for now. I want us to focus on Musalia Mudavadi's statement. Because based on Musalia Mudavadi's statement, is talking about 3 important things which I can get. Number 1, that they agreed as Kenya Kwanza that they were not going to sponsor candidates in Elgeyo Marakwet, where Kipchumba Murkomen resigned, in Garissa Township, where Eden Duale resigned, and in Kandara constituency, where Alice Wahome resigned. And of course, in Bungoma, where a vacancy was occasioned. Then why is UDA sponsoring candidates in those constituencies? I mean, in that Bungoma seat. So is according to Mudavadi, they agreed that they were not going to sponsor candidates. So basically, it's reading kind of something sinister. Number two, if you listened again to that statement by Mudavadi, it kind of feels that they have been betrayed. But he's adding that mtoto akililia wembe mpe. So I don't know why he's sending that kind of a warning to Ruto, that Ruto amelilia wembe, wants the seat. So wamempea wembe. So let us wait and see. The only challenge for them is that if Ruto will sneak and win the seat, they're going to be in trouble. And of course, you also know, number three, that Mudavadi, by virtue of being a cabinet secretary, stopped being the chairperson or the party leader of NC party. Ideally, he should not be playing politics. But we now saw him coming out, going outside there to campaign. Why do you think he's doing that? Is he also trying to provoke Ruto to warn him? Because after that campaign, Musalia Mudavadi went straight to the airport and currently is in the United Kingdom. So, but why do you think Musalia Mudavadi spoke in that particular manner? Because Mudavadi is a man who is known to be really guarded in his words. He's a gentleman, really. He is not someone who would just speak powerfully the way he did against Ruto. Number one, I think Musalia Mudavadi is sending a coded message to UDA and its leadership, led by none other than William Samoei Ruto, that if they are pushed the way they are being pushed, then they will be willing to engage another gear. The only disadvantage Mudavadi has is that he doesn't have the numbers. If Mudavadi had many members of parliament from Western Kenya, probably those members of parliament would have accompanied him. But he's sending a strong message to William Samoei Ruto. Number two, he's also trying to expose the kind of betrayal. Because just the other day, I saw Musalia Mudavadi, Francis Atwoli, and Wetangula, including this for the Kenya candidate at State House. What was the discussion in State House? Why can't William Ruto just issue a directive to his UDA not to sponsor a candidate? Or is there a chance that William Ruto actually told the Ford Kenya candidate to step down for UDA candidate? We never know. So, in my view, Mudavadi is trying to expose the politics of betrayal. Even if you listened to the speech by Weta, where he was talking of they agreed to come together to end politics of betrayal, politics of conmanship, basically what is happening to him. So they're trying to expose that kind of politics. Number three, in my view, I think Moses Wetangula and Mudavadi are also coming to the terms that they must win the seat. And for them to win the seat, they must now draw the line. Because if they allowed if they allowed UDA to proceed the way they were proceeding, basically they were going to win the propaganda war. That, now they're in government, that Bonia Loale is the face of government. The government is not even Kenya Kwanza, the government is UDA. So they are now determined to win that seat because they understand the impact of a loss. If they were to lose this seat, I can assure you, Musalia Mudavadi and Weta will not have peace. And number four, I think they are trying to also remind Ruto of the role Western Kenya played in his presidency. And the fact is, it's only that in politics, people don't really appreciate. There is no way you can write the history of William Ruto's presidency, whether rigged or not, without Bungoma. In fact, most people believe that if Raila Odinga had stuck with Weta, it would have become impossible for Ruto to even rig because Bungoma would have been sealed. And lastly, I think Mudavadi is talking the way he's talking because he wants to test how Ruto is going to react. Whether Ruto is going to call them, to warn them, whether Ruto is going to ask Mudavadi and the rest to stop, is going to ask Boni Alwale and other UDA comrades to stop their campaigns in Bungoma. Let us wait and see, because this by-election in Bungoma, in my view, has the potential of splitting Kenya Kwanza. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Bye-bye.